Is fear keeping you from pursuing van life or the life that you want in any way? If so, I am here to give you a few steps that I have followed that have helped me to overcome fear so that I can live my best life. When I first had the crazy idea that van life might be something that I would enjoy, the immediate emotion that followed was fear. What will people think? Will they make fun of me? What if conditions are dangerous on the road? What if I can't afford it? What if I encounter scary animals or scary people? What happens if I get sick? All those fears were real and very powerful, and I had to make the choice whether I was going to somehow overcome them or let them overwhelm me and hold me back from doing what I really felt that I wanted to do. I want to tell you my biggest personal fear as well, but I know a lot of you are here for the information, so I'll start with that. But if you stick around to the end, I will tell you my story and how overcoming that fear helped me become virtually fearless. The first step is identify your fears. That may seem obvious, but it is very important. What are you specifically afraid of? When I read your comments, I can see that your fears fall into 5 main categories: injury or poor health, dangerous animals, dangerous people, vehicle troubles, bad weather, or road conditions. And I could probably make a video on each one of those and what some safety protocols would be in each of those cases. And if you want me to go into the specifics of that, leave a comment below and tell me that you would like to see that. But my point here is that the first step in overcoming your fear is to identify exactly what those fears are.
Yeah. Yay!
There's only a little bit of it left, but it'll be good.
You may be fearful of some of the general aspects of van life, like what kind of vehicle do you want, or where am I going to get my mail? Or you may have some more specific fears, like once you're on the road, how do I find a good place to park? How do I know what's safe or not safe? What do I do when my vehicle breaks down? Or you may find all of that stuff pretty easy, but may be more fearful of dangerous people or animals that you might encounter, or maybe bad weather. So knowing exactly what you're afraid of is a very important step. The second step is to do your research. Once you identify what your fears are, the next step is to learn as much as you can about that specific fear or about van life in general. The more you know, the less scary it will seem. I know the more I learned by watching YouTube and others have experiences, I could begin to picture myself in their situation. And that helped me to imagine what I would do if I were in that situation. Even if they didn't handle it well or did things differently than I would have done, I still gained information and knowledge to help me through what I would do if I were in that situation. I also learned about things that I hadn't even thought of. So I would encourage you to watch, read, Google everything you can about the experiences other people have in the same situation that you have a fear about, and learning from them. The third step is talk to other van lifers. There are so many people out there who have been on the road for years, and there's no reason why you can't talk to them and ask them their opinions on things. Reach out to them and ask them for their advice. Most of us are more than happy to share what we can about what has been helpful to us and how we've overcome our fears about certain situations and what we do. And maybe it will be useful, maybe it won't, but you can always ask. The point is to talk to others who are doing this, and it will make you less afraid. I told you that I would share a little story about why I am pretty fearless about most things in life, including van life, maybe especially van life, and it is this. About 18 years ago now, which seems like a very long time, I became very ill, and doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I began to lose a lot of weight, and I couldn't keep food down, and they did all kinds of tests, push endoscopies, colonoscopies, everything that you could think of to try to figure out what was wrong with me. And they couldn't get a good look at what was happening because it was right in an area that they just couldn't get to through any other means but surgery. And they suspected that it was cancer, and so I was referred to an oncological surgeon so that he could do exploratory surgery to figure out what was wrong, because a mass had formed. You could feel it, but they just couldn't tell what it was or what was causing it. I had 3 young children at the time, my 3 girls, and my surgeon, who I really loved because he was very straightforward, basically told me that he wasn't sure I could survive the surgery because I was very weak and my organs were already in a kind of cascade for failure, and he wasn't sure. So he said, if I were you, I would spend as much time as I can with them and say my goodbyes, just in case. So I did. And it was a very bittersweet time because all of my friends and family gathered around me, each of them saying what they wanted to say, saying what they needed to say, just in case it was the last time that they were going to see me. I don't recommend getting sick, but at the same time, I was given all of these living eulogies and finding out what people really thought of me, and it's a really beautiful thing. I was also feeling very content about my life. I had lived what felt like 100 different lifetimes in my short life already, so I was really making peace with the fact that if I died, then I have really lived a good life. I also felt a deep sadness because mainly I would be missing my daughters growing up. And that was the thing I think that filled me with the most sadness. But some people asked me if I was afraid. And when I really thought about it, I said I wasn't afraid of dying. What I was afraid of is not really having lived. Obviously, I'm still here. I survived the surgery, and without giving too many details, I was told I didn't have cancer. I have a rare disorder that caused a blockage in my bowel that formed necrotic tissue, and it was basically causing all of my intestine to not be able to function properly, so I wasn't getting nutrition. And it's part of the reason that I can and can't eat certain foods, and so far it's helped me just to be able to maintain my diet and really live a healthier lifestyle. But most importantly, it is the reason I am not afraid, because I'm more afraid of not truly living than I am of anything that might stop me. So I hope that you're encouraged to take the steps that are necessary to overcome your fears, whatever they are, so they don't hold you back from van life or living whatever life you dream of. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
It's almost a full moon tonight.